I'm going to show you now how to pick up a rabbit. Now, different size rabbits, different activity levels of rabbits require a little bit different technique. The smaller rabbits can be one-handed quite easily, and I even one-hand my large 10-pound girl. But you want to watch the support of the hind end. Rabbits' weak spot is their backs. Rabbits have hollow bones like birds, and so they literally have an arch in their back that is extremely delicate. The most common area of a rabbit that gets hurt is going to be this part right here where this little arch is, because rabbits' backs are like a torsion spring, and it springs, and that's what gives them the hopping motion. So that's the area that is very weak, and any kind of pressure or something falling on them there or being dropped can actually injure their back there. So when you're picking up a rabbit, this one here is super easy. You're going to probably need two hands. Now, you make your hand in a V like this. This is going to go right up underneath their front shoulders. So you're going to stick your hand in a V under the front legs, okay? Now with this bunny, you may be able to get away with just like this. Now, a larger rabbit, the hind end is going to be hanging, so you're going to have to use the other hand to support some of the butt weight. Now what you're going to want to do is not hold the rabbit out here like I'm doing right now. She is scared to death. Look at the eyes bulging here. Rabbits don't like being held out in space. They, first of all, are born not likely to be picked up. A rabbit that leaves the ground in the wild is about to die. So they have an instinct to not really appreciate being picked up or being up off the ground. We socialize them with that. And this rabbit here has had quite a bit of that. So she's tolerating it and being fairly nice about it. But I have one at home. He would be spazzing right now, just kicking and all. So the reason I show this method here, okay, we've got the front, in a V under the front legs. I'm using my forearm here to pinch the hind butt part, right where, like on our hip joint there. It's supporting the weight here, but the main reason is so that I have my hand free. This hand is important. Open the door, open the cage. Bunny starts kicking, I grab feet. Bunny tries to take a nip out of me, I put the hand on the head. I don't know if you guys realize this, but the best way to gain control of a rabbit, hand on the head. The rabbit's like trying to box you, growl at you, bite you, getting aggressive with you in any way, shape, or form. Hand on the head for all but the most aggressive rabbits who will just put their legs out. They'll just stop all motion. Now, if you've got a super aggressive rabbit, you may have to grab their head. But first of all, when you stroke a rabbit on the head, you're telling them, I respect you, I love you. Rabbits communicate in signals and in signs. So you want to get a rabbit's respect, you want to get a rabbit's attention, you want to touch him on top of the head. Do not approach a rabbit on touching him on the butt. That is a total insult. Rabbits, when they get mad at each other, will pinch each other on the butt, nip each other on the butt. That's kind of their, hey, get with it, So when you touch a rabbit on the butt, you're insulting them. Now you can socialize them to that, but if this is a rabbit you don't know very well, you may be asking for trouble, he can go around and bite you. When approaching a rabbit you don't know, you do not put your hand up in front of their nose like you do a dog to let them smell you. I can always tell people who don't know anything about bunnies because they always walk up and go smell you. You're asking the rabbit to bite you. You're saying, I'm the boss, you kiss me, is what you're saying. And so if he's a dominant rabbit, he's going to bite you, so you're not the boss of me. Or, rabbits also being prey animals see 360 degrees. They can see behind them, to the side of them. The only blind spot a rabbit has is directly in front of their nose. Now this is a Rex, so he doesn't have the long kitty whiskers, but most rabbits have these long whiskers to tell what's in front of their nose because right here they can't see. So my rabbits, knowing anything that's stuck in front of their face is food. And so he's going to go nibble nibble to see if it's something to eat, and of course, he may draw blood, he may not, he's not trying to hurt you. But anyways, it's a bad idea to put your hand in front of a rabbit. When you meet a rabbit, you don't know him, you want to make sure that he knows that you like him and you're going to give him love. You put your hand on his head and you rub his ears like that. Okay, now I'm holding the bunny, pinching the butt here. I forgot. Any questions about this? Now you will see other people doing things with bunnies. I've seen vets and other methods of holding them. A lot of vets learn in school to do this. I think it's kind of dumb. But they take the bunny and they hold him backwards like this, and they tuck the head in because the bunny can't see and his head's under there. Another reason they do this is because when you're holding a rabbit, the idea of you're holding him on the side is so when he kicks, he can't kick against anything. When you hold a rabbit out in front, when you hold a rabbit out in front of you, if they have anything to kick against, they will launch off you. And so you hold the rabbit on the side, that way if he kicks, there's nothing to jet off of. And he's kicking and it's hitting space. So that's what you watch for. Now if you've got a condo or a cage you're putting a bunny into, they will also, as you're putting them out into the cage, they'll start kicking and launch off you. Put your bunny into the cage backwards. They won't kick. Like my rabbits have condos. When I go to put them in their condo, I put them in backwards and they don't see it coming, they don't kick, and they go right in the door. If you try and put them in forward, they'll kick off of anything you can get their hands on. You never scruff a rabbit. Scruffing is holding them like a cat, like right here. That's very painful for rabbits. I see vets do that. It's taught in veterinarian school. It's extremely painful for rabbits. The same as holding them by their ears. That's farm technique. When you go to farms, farmed rabbits are scruffed. Farmed rabbits are handled by their ears. We don't do that with our pets. That's something that we teach people not to do. Okay. Let's go on here to our next section. Spaying and neutering our rabbits. Does anyone here have a bunny who's not fixed? It's really critical. Fixing the rabbit is the first step to making him into a pet. Farm rabbits will never be spayed and neutered, therefore they will never also become docile and friendly and relaxed. And the males never stop marking, which is key to bringing a male rabbit indoors. You don't want him peeing on all your stuff. And we'll be working the shelters here with unaltered males. They can get they literally squirt across the room. And that's why we get the rabbits that come into the shelter all the time with staining, because the rabbits will pee on each other as a form of dominance and will shoot across the room. And we've had highly aggressive male rabbits when we walk into the area that their cages, and they'll literally shoot at you across the room and get you. So we don't want that in our pets. You know, I've actually seen male rabbits grabbing females' legs and humping them like a dog. It's so fun. Oh yeah, don't mind my rabbit, he's just friendly, you know. I actually had this happen. My first indoor rabbit, and he wasn't fixed, and he would grab my wife's leg and hump it and hurt her. He'd bite on with his teeth, and it was really, we had him fixed, trust me, it was like 3 or 4 days later, he was in the vet's office. But you want to use the right vet again for this. We're talking rabbit vets, exotic vets, not dog and cat vets. Female rabbits really have to be spayed. They have more than an 85% chance, I've heard as high as 87% chance of getting breast or uterine cancer from not being spayed. And this is a result of the high hormonal levels that rabbits have, going through these hormonal cycles every 28 days over and over and over again, and not getting pregnant causes cancer in rabbits. We have so many of those that come in after 4 years old. They're all full of lumps. They go right into sanctuary. They don't have right home. And there's not really anything you can do about that. So if you love your bunny, you want the females to be fixed especially. The unspayed females have cage protective qualities. They will bite you if you go into their load area. Once you get them spayed, they tend to lose that aggressiveness as well. And that comes from wanting to protect their babies. They have that mother instinct. I told you about the males. Plus, now we're getting into the good stuff. To litter box train your rabbit, you got to get them fixed, because once you get them fixed, they're going to go in one spot. Fixed bunnies will just always be in poop in one little spot. You put the box there, and you have a trained rabbit. Sometimes it can get a little more complicated than that. If you've got a rabbit who's been not spayed or neutered for a very long time, when we get them, they're 6 or 7 years old, sometimes it's very hard to litter box train a 6-year-old rabbit who's just gone anywhere they wanted their whole life. It can be done, but those are the ones that we usually have the most difficulty with. If we catch them young enough, I've never had a rabbit really not be able to be box trained. Now, rabbits do pee and poop to show displeasure with you. If you make your rabbit angry, they will actually, they won't pee on your shoes or something. That is a sign that you've upset them. They communicate in signals, and that is probably the ultimate signal of displeasure, is peeing on you. So they're telling you something when they do that. If your rabbit was litter box trained one day, and all of a sudden one day he seems to be untrained, he's telling you something. This is something going on. He's displeased about something that's changed in his environment. It could be something as simple as you bought a new piece of furniture, and there's a new strange piece of furniture in the house that he's never seen before, and now he's telling you, I don't want that here, it's not right, and so he's going to go, act out, and for a rabbit, acting out is peeing and pooping outside his box. It's simple as that. But they do communicate with you, so he's trying to tell you something if you had a bunny do that to you. All right, let's see.
Could I ask a question to that, or is this a good time to ask a question?
Sure, okay.
Sorry, so our male and female, 1-year-old, had no problem going into her box, and then we bought a friend for her, and they really love each other, and they move each other, and they're very content, right? But she started pooping everywhere.
Okay, well, this will probably go away when you first bring two rabbits together, especially for the first few weeks. They're getting used to each other. I have a friend of mine who's doing the same thing. She's had this bunny for about 1.5 years, a big boy, and she adopted a little girl. They love each other, they kiss each other, but he was litter box trained. Now he's going everywhere, all around the house. I'd say like this week, he's starting to go back in the box again. So it's something that they will get over. It's not so much that they're telling you he's displeased. He's telling her, or she's telling him, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. And so they're reaffirming territory. Rabbits are extremely territorial critters. And when you, for example, say I have 2 rabbits who are bonded and live in this cage here. If I were to move this cage outside, that doesn't mean that bond extends to that area out there. That's new territory. Dominance has to be established in that territory. It's about the ground they're on. So changing the shape or the size of the territory, changing the location of the territory is grounds for reestablishing of dominance. So the bunny will have to go out and tell the other bunny, okay, I'm in charge here again. So the alpha rabbit, who may be in charge here, when I put him outside, the bunny who's submissive to him normally here may go, you're not the boss of me here. And they may be a little fight ensue until they establish who's in charge there. And I've seen this many times with bunnies who've been bonded for many, many years, and all of a sudden mom and dad decide to take them to the park. Now we get to the park, they set the X-Band up, and they go, oh, I don't understand. They're chasing each other around, and they're doing typical aggressive behavior. They're bonded at home, they never do this. Well, they're not at home. They're in another place, and now we have to establish who's in charge here. And so, as long as there's no blood, as long as there's, it's not one of those, I don't know if you've ever seen rabbits fight, but it looks like a whirlwind tornado and things are, well, if they're going around and mounting each other and there's no fur being pulled, then they're just establishing dominance, and it'll probably be over in a few minutes. If fur starts getting flying, now it's time to break them up, because then you're looking at vet bills, and you don't want vet bills. Eventually the fur will fly enough to one's going to give up, but there may be an injured rabbit in the process, so we don't do that. That's farmer method. You've got a lot of vets out there. I've read actually on vet websites that tell you, I'll just put them together and sort it out in a day or 2. Yeah, but you're the vet. You get the, somebody's paying you to put them back together. We don't want to go pay a vet to put our dogs back together. Okay, mentioning surgeries with rabbits and vets. I have actually had this happen several times where vets have told me, don't feed your rabbit the night, and give them any water after midnight the night before surgery, like humans do, like dogs and cats do. You don't do that with a rabbit. If your vet tells you not to feed your rabbit the night before surgery, run from that vet. Do not let him operate on your animal. Rabbits eat right up to the minute that they go under anesthesia, and then they try and get them to eat the minute they wake up. It's very important. That's a formula for stasis in a rabbit, to stop feeding him the night before, then you put him under anesthesia, you stop his whole system, and then, now we want his system to start up again. You've got somebody who doesn't know what they're doing. So again, we feed, when surgery on a rabbit, you feed right up to the moment of anesthesia. If you have a bonded bunny, again, rabbit vets who are used to working with rabbits, if one of my bunnies goes to the vet, they both go. Because that rabbit could go to the vet and pick up smells of other animals there, then when they bring them home, they fight. They go, oh, you've been cheating on me, I smell other bunnies on you. They go together, they stay bonded. It's important, because just a trip to the vet can unbond rabbits. Rabbits that are bonded never leave each other's side, and that's important. You can unbond your bunny that way, and you don't want to cause any undue stress, and not having their buddy there is stressful. When you have surgery on a rabbit, spay or neuter, but any kind of surgery, you're looking at the incision site or any place you're looking for no redness, no leaking of blood. Rabbits have 2 layers of skin, so there really shouldn't be a lot of bleeding, or there will be a little bit of oozing. Usually it's clear or light yellow in color, but you don't want to see a lot of blood. There is no blood. When you take 1 layer of skin off a bunny, they don't bleed. There's no blood underneath that first layer of skin. I'm not quite sure if they have capillaries in there or not, but when a rabbit, between the layers of skin, you're not going to see a lot of bleeding. So you shouldn't see a lot of bleeding. If you're getting a lot of bleeding and stuff from a surgery with the rabbit, there's something wrong, something's bleeding internally maybe, and again, you want a relationship with your vet. You want to get them right back in there and have them look at that. You want to keep them clean after surgery, of course, and you want to make sure that it continues to eat poop regularly. And what you do as a good bunny mom and dad is you are always looking at your rabbit, making sure he's eating and pooping every day. This is part of why rabbits live so much longer indoors, is we're in touch with them. We're looking in their box every day. I haven't seen any poops in there. I cleaned that box at 8 o'clock this morning, and here it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. There's no poop in the box. We got a problem. Rabbits are eating and pooping 24/7. If your rabbit goes 8 hours without pooping, there's something wrong. Now the red flag's up. What I would do at that point is offer my rabbit something that I know he won't turn down. Because rabbits will not eat if they feel sick. They will not eat, they will not drink if they feel sick, which is very bad, because rabbits can't stop eating for even, half a day. It can become serious. So I will go get something I know my bunny won't turn down. I'll give it to him. He turns it down. Now I really know there's something wrong. I've got to go find out what the problem is, and I'll start escalating. Now, I know what to do because I've been through this so many times, but if you don't know what to do, this would be the time I would start looking up the number of my phone number of my vet and seeing if he's available, and to see, your bunny. There are 24-hour rabbit vets available. There's one in La Mesa called Pet Emergency Specialty Center, and they handle rabbit emergencies 24/7. Dr. Cecil is my bunny's vet, and he is awesome. He's awesome. He's an angel. He's not expensive. Some of the rabbit vets are extremely expensive. My other bunny sees Dr. Bassoni up in Escondido, and he's out in outer space as far as expensive, but he's really, really good. And he's saved her life so many times that my bunny, she's 10 to 12 years old. At this point, I know that she needs the best care in order to stay with me, so she's the one that got the $750 for it. But Staples, I could have taken her to many other vets that might have been done for a couple $100, but at that point, I'm paying the key because she's so fragile. And okay, I'm going to do this section here quickly, and then we'll take a little break. This is the most important part of the whole talk we're going to have. So I wanted to cover this. I wanted to cover this